Real good boys know that they have to be good to the planet, which is why we drink Fiji water. Since 2022, Fiji water's 330 milliliter and 500 milliliter bottles have been produced with 100% recycled plastic.
That's hot.
You know what's even hotter? The aquifer Fiji water originates from is a sustainable source and will continue to replenish as the rain and water cycles persist in the islands of Fiji.
You're right. That is hotter.
Visit your local retailer to pick up some Fiji water today and give yourself a Good Boy Gold Star for helping protect our planet. After all, Fiji water is Earth's finest water.
Good boys. Good boys.
Welcome back to Good Boys.
Welcome back to Good Boys, episode 5.
This is the 5th episode.
Great.
Our third solo episode. No guest today.
Great. No
Just
guests.
me and you, Kai.
Just
Do
me
you
and
like
you.
Kai? I've never asked you.
No, because we said on the last one because it's Kai. No, I don't mind
I
Kai.
always type it, so it's specifically KY.
Totally.
Okay, Kylo.
I'm fine with that.
Big K.
Big K. Big Mott.
Big Mott, Big K.
Big Mott, Big K. How
Um,
it, oh my God. Okay, so I've just been told that by our producer that Big K means ketamine in the UK, which is not very on brand for me, to be honest.
For the US listeners, Kylo saying ketamine. Just in case.
Where did ketamine originate,
Ketamine.
do you think?
Are you quizzing me because it's the UK?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping
don't
someone's
know.
going to correct me later.
Yeah.
That's been happening a lot. Speaking of, Motti and I have some corrections corner, which is essentially where we apologize for all the mistakes that we've made already on this podcast.
Already? Yeah, episode 5. Do you want to go first?
You go.
Okay. I think I only have
I'm
one,
trying to find mine.
which is a pretty egregious one that makes me feel so old and unfun and out of touch, which is that I messed up the gay dating app and I kept calling it Scruffies when there's no such thing as Scruffies. There is an app called Scruff, which is a dating app for gay men. There is an app called Scruff for gay men, and I'm sure whoever wants to be on there. And then there is a web app, which is the one I was referring to, called Sniffies. And so I combined Sniffies and Scruff, and I said Scruffies, which just goes to show how cool and getting laid I am. But that is my correction corner.
Great. And
Yeah.
I want to add to your corrections corner and say I downloaded Scruff and it just literally looks like a clone of Grindr. And I was like, okay. And then I found Sniffies, which is lightly explicit. It's not lightly explicit. It's
Well, that's what I was saying.
it's extremely explicit. There's much more than sexual. There's much
Sexual
more than
intimacy.
sexual intimacy
Yeah.
happening on Sniffies. You know what made me think though, that there doesn't seem to be a sapphic flinter type equivalent to these like very, I don't know what to call them, sexually intimate apps.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I guess
the cruising
Field.
app.
Yeah, like a cruising app.
Yeah.
But then is it because there's no demand? I feel like I'd cruise.
I think that it's just not as part of the like culture, I guess. I'm like, I don't know. Every sapphic person I know is on Hinge.
Yeah.
Like that's the place for it. But like I don't know. Like obviously lesbians and sapphic people are like fucking. So there
Right.
should be.
It feels so stereotypical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we've just created these spaces for predominantly gay men, but not for anybody else. And I feel like I was thinking that we should make one.
We should make one. You brought up Field. Field isn't sapphic specific, and if I can say something that's so arrogant, I spent a little bit of time on Field. I have never seen an attractive person. To me,
To you,
someone who I am attracted to personally,
Right.
on Field.
interesting.
And it was like, couples when I was like trying to date couples and stuff, and
Right.
I'm like, neither of you. Because sometimes it's like, oh, the girl's hot and the guy's ugly.
Right? Would you do that?
Would I do
Hot
that?
hot girl, ugly guy.
I have done that, so I guess
Okay.
the answer is yes because I have done that a couple times. But presently, no.
Okay.
Would you?
No,
Yeah.
I've only had one threesome in my life, and it was with a girlfriend and a hot girl. I think it needs to be girl heavy for me.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that's definitely my preference. At the time that I was doing this, it was the only time that I think it's fun is because like, so I've had many threesomes. Sorry to flex on you. And it's usually, and a lot of them was like when I was dating bi girls who would like want a guy in the room. And the only reason it worked for me, even though I wasn't wanting to sleep with the guys, it always ended up being this thing of like, I'm teaching the guy now how to fuck his girl properly.
Right.
And so like that worked for me.
Yeah, that's kind of hot.
Yeah. Incredibly hot. Like I wasn't really having to do much with the guy. I just got to kind of like show him up. So that worked for me in that way.
Makes sense.
And then Lex, I mean, like people are like trying to get fucked on Lex.
They are?
Oh yeah. But I don't know how successful it is for them.
But there's no photos, right?
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to be vain, but like
I think they introduced photos, but I don't think they could be like, you know, schlong or or lip. You know, like I don't think that it can be that.
Yeah.
But like people will absolutely for like years now will like write like pillow princess looking for, you know, it's very in search of.
I don't want to sound like an absolute wanker, but I'm on Raya.
It's okay. I was on Raya too.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I'm on Raya, but that feels the opposite of your experience to Field. Everyone seems to be hot. Every single person is hot. No one really talks to you though.
No.
You know, you match with someone and then you just, I guess, look at each other and just consider how hot you both are, but no one says anything.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's like me going after like really hot celebrity women and they're like content creator. They're
influencer.
Like, I'm not gonna fuck you. No, I would never put influencer because then they'd look at my page and they'd be like, what? But content creator or like comedian or whatever. But there's one specific celebrity woman who I'm not even that attracted to, but she kept first. I feel like I'm like, if it's not a match, take her out of my feed. You know what I mean?
Is it Cara?
Who? Cara
Delevingne.
I would never swipe right on.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But no, it's it was from respect, love her, but she kept coming up on my feed even though like clearly she wouldn't like.
She's not swiping right. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but I'm like, get her out of my feed then.
But then it's Raya trying to show you that there's like hot celebrities on there, so you'll stay.
Maybe because it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
But like I would keep liking it and I'm like, okay, this is cruel at this point. Just take her out. And we can bleep her name so I don't call her out. But
constant reminder that she doesn't want you just every day. Yeah.
But I've met a couple people on Ryan. It was fine. But what I realized is that when you set it to like, I had it set to only show me women, and then it would show me women everywhere, and it was mostly LA, even though had been set to New York. And then if I tried to look at the map specifically for New York, it would give me every gender.
Right.
What's up with that user experience?
Yeah, it's not great. But I think it's because there's not a bunch of queer people on there.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's trying to just find queer people anywhere.
Yeah.
They should put more queer people on there.
They should.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's my very unsuccessful. I don't even think I've met anyone from Raya. Maybe one person for a coffee.
Couple hookups, but that's it.
Oh, you had a couple hookups? Yeah. I mean, that's successful.
Yeah.
My stomach is going. Can you hear that?
I can't hear that.
Okay, great. I mean, I just thought the mic might be picking up on my. I think I might be. It's all the protein shakes. I'm trying to get stacked. Okay, we got distracted, but my corrections corner is that there are many, many nudist beaches in the UK. I said that there were 0.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's many. But quoting my friend Becky, who said there are no shortage of nudist beaches in the UK, just a shortage of people. Let me start again. Hold on. Are you running off? Okay, great. Quoting my friend Becky, who texted me after the episode and said, there is no shortage of nudist beaches in the UK, but there is a shortage of people you'd want to see nude.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So I don't
kind
know.
of like Field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The UK nudist beaches are equivalent to Field.
Okay.
In the US.
Okay, got it.
I now want to go on Field and see what's going on.
I'm sure. I bet you'll go in there and you'll probably, I'll be proven wrong and whatever. But I also have a particular like everyone has
hot redheads.
I don't want people out here listening to it who are on Field to think that they're ugly. That feels bad. That feels bad. It's just I have a particular taste.
Totally. Hot
which is when I see it. No, because Brit, I would never put Brit in like, oh, she's my type. First of all, because she's out of my league, so I would never even consider it. And secondly, because I don't have a physical type; it's a personality type.
Oh, okay.
Physically, anything goes.
But this is contradictory to what you're saying about Field.
Well, because it's like when I know it, I see it.
Got it.
Or sorry, when I see it,
When
I
you
know
see
it. Yeah, it's a vibe thing.
Got it.
Yeah. I actually do have another correction
Okay,
that I
go.
forgot because my sister texted me after listening to our episode with Rivka, jorking it.
Your sister's hot.
And my sister was like, and I had been talking about my name change and how I want to keep Motti as my last name because none of my siblings are going to give Motti to their kids. And she texted me and she goes, well, first of all, she was like listening to the episode. And then like 20 minutes later was like, I'm not taking my wife's last name.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I just would have assumed, but I guess they don't like the last name.
Are they both taking Motti?
I don't know. She said definitely if they have kids that the kids would be Motti.
Okay.
But I don't know if her fiance is going to take Motti.
Got it.
I don't know. But I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting that, which I guess takes a little pressure off it because they're for sure having kids.
Okay.
Or at least they want to if the stars align.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's my
That's your
correction.
Okay, great. I think that's all my corrections for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
My
kick
mom
off?
saw you on an ad.
And an ad?
Mm-hmm.
What ad?
For them ad.
Oh, fine. I was like, for what?
No,
I was
your
so
company?
stressed all of a sudden. I was like, wait, for
The
what?
ad that you
Viagra?
model in?
Yeah.
No,
I did used to model, and I have done some, let's say, rogue type advertisements
Yeah.
over my years. And so I panicked that some have come like back into rotation, and your mum saw it. That's why.
Oh, no. She saw you in a For Them binder.
What does she think about that?
I think she thinks you're a cutie. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. I think she was like, he's so, like, it's the one where you're like this.
Oh, yeah,
and you're
it's, like, very
stern.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She liked it. Okay.
So, how was your week?
My week was great. I had a fantastic week. A long week, I'd say. And when I was thinking about how I've been a good boy this week, there's been so many ways. I've just been such an exemplary good boy. And I think what I... Okay.
Sorry, that was my dog who just had a meltdown.
I think the way that I'd love to highlight that I've been a good boy is that I finished week 3 of my strength training program.
Amazing.
And you can see biceps on my arms now.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do a sexy selfie for this episode.
How? Okay. I'll
You
try.
must.
You can like see it. You can like see like pec definition on my chest now. Like it's not just flat from the top surgery, but it's like muscle is building.
That's big.
And you can see a little bit of trap, which is something I know to say now, on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And it feels really good.
That's awesome.
And I feel strong.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What about you?
So it's my birthday week.
Yes.
My birthday this week. Cancer, Leo, cusp. I hear, from the lesbians that that's a good cusp,
You do.
Yeah. That's what I was told, I think, on a date. So maybe not true. Not true?
I'm not so qualified. Cancers are a little scary sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, and you're not very cancery.
I thought cancers were like to stay in, really homely. Is that wrong?
That's not what I understand them to be. They're so emotional.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Like I have a joke in my stand-up set about how both of my parents have survived cancer, or are actually, the way that I word it, that they are cancer survivors, and then the joke is that I am too, which is why I only date Libras now. That's how scary cancers are to me.
Got it. Okay.
They're very like so I have like a Cancer Mars, Cancer Venus, which is aggression and love and sex. Like those planets rule those things, and I'm like, what I understand that to be is that I'm so emotional in sex, aggression, and love.
Wow. Okay.
It's an emotional thing.
Oh my God. Okay. And
But
I
that's
feel
not
like
you.
I'm quite non-emotional.
Yeah. No.
Interesting.
But you're a Leo through and through.
Which is like what? Ego, confidence.
Confidence, leadership, charisma,
Yeah, I'll take
natural
it.
leader. Yeah.
So in true Leo fashion, I guess, in my notes of like how I was a good boy this week, I was like, my friend baked me a cake for my birthday.
How does that? I want to know how that makes you a good boy.
Yeah. I just thought it was really beautiful because he's my best friend. He's a straight dude. And I just thought it was quite a beautiful thing of like a straight dude. He's like a tech bro, you know, like baked me a cake from scratch. This is Jeff. Yeah. Shout out Jeff. Baked me a cake from scratch, brought it over. We all ate. It was just so sweet.
Really sweet.
So I just had it in my notes. I don't know. I felt very, you know, loved and cared for. And then another thing that made me feel good this week. None of these things make me a good boy, but it made me feel good. For the first time in my life, a waitress like slipped me her number while I was having lunch.
Ooh.
I know.
Were you at lunch with your partner?
I was at lunch with an advisor.
Okay.
You know, who was a woman, and then she was really pissed after. She was like, that waitress didn't know that we went on a date. I was like, they knew. I
was gonna say she was definitely like watching from like the host stand, the body language and everything.
100%.
Yeah.
And she like slipped it in this little like bottle cap. She came over to give us these bottle caps and said, if you drop these in these jars, you can choose which charity we give to for the month, right?
Oh my gosh.
And in this little bottle cap was a folded up piece of paper, and I was like, oh my God, what's this? And I opened it and it was her number, and I thought, this is the nicest thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah. Are you gonna use it?
No.
Okay.
You know, I think I was going to text her. I think, what do you think? I was going to text her. I'm not interested in going on a date with her.
Okay.
But I was going to text her and say, like, thank you so much. That made my day. And, you know, but do you think that's mean to do? Should I just leave it?
I don't think it's mean. I think there's no way that you could go wrong here. I think when someone gives a number, especially if it's like server customer, I think you're like throwing something into the wind, and if someone picks it up, it's fine. But I don't think it's something where like it'd be really like, it wouldn't be ghosting of you to not text her.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine. Are you gonna like return to this place? Like, is it something that you're
yeah,
gonna
that's what I thought,
manage?
that I might see her again, so I should do it. Also, I feel like it's so brave to do.
It's so brave,
and I want to like validate that bravery.
Yeah,
you know, made me think, God, I never do. Do you ever do stuff like that?
Only a couple times, but like I've been a bartender and server my whole life, and so I have given out my number before, and then I've also gotten a lot of numbers bartending, which I have feelings about. I'm not a fan of it. Even though I love being hit on, it makes me feel so good, whatever. There is something, and I think I didn't really feel this until the past couple years, where it used to be really exciting to me, and now I'm like, you know where I work.
Totally.
And like, I'm being paid to be nice to you. Like, I guess there's this like, I don't know when the shift happened for me, but I'm like, this is my job. I don't really flirt on the job because of just like, I don't know, when you're bartending and it's so busy, whatever. I'm like, so you've perceived this niceness of me be in a customer service role, and you've perceived that as me hitting on you, or maybe you just think I'm cute and you're just shooting your shot. But I'm like, it does make me uncomfortable when I'm like, if now what do I do with this? Because you know where I work, you potentially know what shifts I'm like, when I'm here, and like what, maybe, I don't know, maybe I've just had enough bad experiences with people like repeatedly showing up to my job, and like when you're a bartender and someone sits down and like they like bring a book and they're just drinking a beer at the bar and they're reading a book to like be there with you.
But also you're trapped. It's like Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of trapped. And so I don't think it's like one of those things where it's like a hard and fast rule, don't give your number to like bartenders, but it's kind of just like, don't come and now like show up and have a regular schedule at my bar.
Totally.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense. I also feel like we've sort of we've lost this idea of like really reading energies, and I know not everybody can, but there's like nuance, because sure, give your number to a bartender if they're giving you vibes, right? Like you can feel that, but like maybe don't do it if they're not. But maybe that's hard because you've got to be nice to all customers, and
you do have to be like, that is your job, to be nice to all customers. I think there's also like opportunities for like, there's been times where I'm like, hey, this was really, but so I guess what I'm thinking about is like, I worked at a lesbian restaurant, like lesbian bar. And
I was like, wait, there's lesbian restaurants?
There, yeah. Well, yeah.
Just filled with lesbians?
It's a Colombian restaurant in Bushwick.
No way.
And it's run by a Colombian dyke. And she's brilliant. And her and her wife own it. And it's like Colombian cuisine.
Shout it out. What's it called?
It's called Maite.
Great.
On Central Ave in Bushwick. And it's really good. And they play like the soccer games on the TV and everything. But I've had the situation where someone gave me their number. They were super duper drunk, but they were a regular. And so like they would come all the time. And then like I didn't do anything with the number. And now you're in every single, and yeah.
Totally. I guess it's the same the other way too. And I'm going to go back to this. I think I'm going to text her and just say like, thanks so much. No
Yeah.
thanks, but I appreciate it. And it
Yeah.
was brave,
Yeah.
you know?
Cool. I do want to tell you, I didn't want to squander your good boy about Jeff baking you a cake. I've found a way that it makes you a good boy
Oh my God, go.
to receive the cake.
Thank you so much.
Clearly, you have done something in your friendship with Jeff, a cis straight guy, to show him this like brotherly love and like healthy masculinity that he felt comfortable as your gift. Maybe he got you an additional gift, but like to home bake you a cake. Like you had to have done something to nurture that friendship that would make him want to do that gesture for you, and I think that's what makes you a good boy.
I really love that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I like to think I've done that. And we have a very special bromance. For sure. Yeah.
Shout out Jeff.
Shout out, Jeff. Thank you for the cake. It was wonderful.
Let's see. Oh, Britt bought me flowers this week.
No way.
Beautiful. I forget what they're called.
That's cute. For
we're
any
really-
particular reason?
I'm trying to think if she had a reason. No, I think just to be really nice because she loves me.
Cute. Shout out,
Beautiful
Britt.
orange flowers. I forget what they're called. We're pretty limited in what flowers we can take home because of the cats. So many flowers are
like they're
are
poisonous?
toxic to
Yeah.
cats. But they're these beautiful, and she just showed up home from like being out of the house with a bouquet of flowers for me.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
She's definitely done something wrong.
You're
You're going to find out about it over the next
tried.
few days.
Yeah. We'll see.
But
Okay.
Boys in the News.
Okay.
Boys in the News, where we read out headlines without reading the article and tell them whether they have been good boys or bad boys.
Great.
Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start? Let me grab my thing. Oh, you haven't got it, right?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
I mean, this is an obvious one, but I feel like we have to put it in, which is
Scared.
Trump's assassination. That's not it. Trump's assassination getting eclipsed by JD Vance's couch story. I don't know.
Who's the
Just the
subject?
idea of this. Okay, so basically, on like Google Trends, this is where I got this. On Google Trends, it tells you like interest over time of searched
Yes,
things.
I've seen this.
Oh,
Okay.
you see, okay, cool. And then Trump's
But
assassination.
I'm just trying to see if who I'm judging is a good boy or a bad boy.
I
Is
guess
it-
we're saying, do we like the fact that Vance couch has been Googled more aggressively than Trump assassination? And I would say I do like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
It's a good
Also,
boy.
I'm like, assassination attempt. Let's be clear.
Attempt.
Come on.
I mean, still, look,
Let's
it's
use
super
correct
dangerous.
language.
We shouldn't, I don't want to encourage this in any way, please.
Not encouraging.
We're
assassination.
encouraging assassinations. I don't want to
No,
encourage
I told you, UK. It is. We're not allowed to talk about presidential assassinations in America.
Okay, sorry.
We will have the FBI.
Oh my
show
God,
up
you
at
said
our
that.
door.
Can we bleep this out?
No, we can say this because we're
Okay.
reading a headline. But let's just be.
Let's just be. Don't come and arrest me. I'm British and I didn't know. Listen, let's talk about JD Vance and this couch.
Yeah.
Look, apparently, I have to say, I read a little bit about it, and this is not true, and is like a terrible rumor started by someone, but just hilarious.
Hilarious.
That everyone thinks it's true and is Googling it over and over and over again.
I
Too
know.
funny.
I'm like, I know the page number in Hillbilly Elegy that they're saying it happens on. It's page 178. I have thoughts though.
Please tell me. Oh my
The
God, you're
audience
clearing
isn't
your
gonna like
throat.
this.
You're clearing your throat.
Who of us AFAB folks did not fucking hump an arm of of their living room couch to Buffy the Vampire Slayer or some other horrible TV show in their youth?
Yes.
Have you ever humped a couch?
I haven't humped a couch. I've humped a pillow.
Okay, so like,
And like I've
who
humped
amongst
stuff.
us?
I've humped stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've humped stuff.
Yeah, I'm just
Also,
like,
yeah, I'm not judging him necessarily. It's just
Listen,
it's
I'm not defending JD, by the way. Not defending JD Vance, but I'm like, on this, we have to be careful what precedent we're setting of shaming fucking couches when the majority of the lesbian community
is doing that.
has
done
humped a
that.
couch.
We should probably put that in the poll on this podcast.
Have you humped a couch?
Have you humped a couch? What I loved about it too was the detail around it, because humping a couch, okay, fine.
Yeah.
You hump it, you get over it, you move on with your day. This was like an inside out like latex glove that was put between the couch cushions.
Innovation that excites. I don't know. Like, how is that different than a pocket pussy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's innovative. Do
Yeah.
we not want an innovative candidate?
Yeah. Well, listen. Okay. No.
That was a
we don't
joke.
want-
That was a
okay.
joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
But I'm just like, I'm not bothered by the couch fucking. I'm bothered by many other things.
Of course.
It's just so funny that
funny.
we like, it's hilarious, but I'm like, can we run with something concrete and legitimate?
Yeah.
And in the process, not shame couch fuckers?
I'm challenging you because you are so offended by this. And it tells me,
I just think it's funny to have
tells
an
me you've done
opinion.
this multiple times.
I was, an adventurous child.
Sure.
And yeah, a couch. Also, it's just a stereotype that, like, I don't want to get into murky waters here talking about, like, being a young girl and self-pleasure because whatever. But, like, that is a fact of life, and you're exploring your body, and you're going to hump a couch.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Period.
my opinion on it. Period. Okay, next headline. Mark Zuckerberg is in talks to become a part owner of Supreme. This is so you. I have zero opinions on this.
You have
gonna
zero
let you take it.
opinions?
Well, I will have opinions after you talk.
Okay, here's the thing. Bad boy.
Oh, I forgot it to vote.
Bad boy. But in the sense that, like, bad can be good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Zuck's ridiculous and so many. Did you see that ridiculous fucking interview he did for Bloomberg? No, because
Sorry.
It's okay. He basically was like, I'm not endorsing. We're getting into politics again. I'm not meaning to, but he basically said,
it's
I'm
election
not,
season.
Yeah, fine. He said, I'm not endorsing any candidate at all. And then he said, but I have to say that, like, watching Trump, almost get shot and then come up with his fist in the air was badass. He said was badass. And talked about that for a little bit. And so everyone was like, well, you have just endorsed someone.
Yeah.
I don't understand why all these tech guys that are supposed to be liberal in some sense are, like, voting for Trump. But anyway.
Yeah.
The Supreme thing, I don't know if this is so niche and everyone's going to be like, Kylo, shut up. No one knows anything about this. But Zuck has gone from, like, wearing only white t-shirts and jeans and specific shoes to now, like, he has a gold chain. His, like, hair's growing out.
Well, hold on. I was duped by a Photoshop thing that happened. You saw this?
Yeah.
And I turned to Britt and I was like, he's hot. And Britt goes, that is literally fake.
It is fake, but it was like over exaggerated.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he's changing his
with
style.
The facial hair, I was like, he kind of looks good.
He did. He did look good.
Yeah.
So I feel like this Supreme thing is him driving towards this idea of being a little cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really funny.
Is he just, like, trying to, like, adapt to, like, black culture? Like, is that
God.
not just what it is?
I don't know.
Putting on a gold chain and thinking you have swag now? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
I saw something on Twitter where the Supreme artwork was stolen from a female designer.
Wait, what?
I don't have all the facts, and maybe we can get a producer check or something. But it was this thread about how Supreme copied that, like, the red background and that type treatment from this, like, female designer, graphic designer perhaps, and that she did not sue Supreme until Supreme sued somebody else for copying their artwork, and in the lawsuit cited, like, took
Smart.
and, like, credited her for what, and that's when she sued.
But they credited her in it.
They were kind of like, it's too close to the artwork of
X.
Insert this name.
Okay, wait, producer.
And she was
check.
like, well, now that you're saying that your artwork is
mine,
then
I can
now
sue
I'm
you.
gonna sue you.
Barbara Kruger,
Barbara Kruger. Look at, and you see that. You
UCLA
see it.
art professor and very prolific artist. You'll recognize her work.
And
Well, now she can sue Zuck. Two birds, one stone.
Oh,
The
I
irony
shop
of
there
it
for
all
it. Yeah.
is that her thesis statement is around denouncing the consumer society.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah, like the one that I saw is I shop, therefore I am. In that,
in
like,
that
Supreme.
font?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
But
Good for her. Patience. I love the patience. Okay. Next headline. This is a throwback to our episode with Rivka last week. So the headline is, no, the JD in JD Vance does not stand for Jorkin de Penis.
Jorkin de Penis is so good.
I have not much to say about it
I was gonna say-
other than it does stand for
does,
that.
yeah.
So you
What
are a
is it?
good boy.
Joseph Dean.
You know what? I actually have no idea. Is that bad?
I don't think that's bad.
And it was posted by my friend with the caption, I stand against misinformation,
That's good.
which is good. Okay.
Okay. Well, we're not voting.
We
on
don't.
that. Okay.
Yeah, we don't. Well, you go. Anything to say about JD? Anything more to say? No. I know. What do you think? Here's a question, actually. I saw a thing on Instagram. Lots of accounts were talking about it. Talking about like his makeup and his cosmetics that, cosmetic injections or surgery or whatever he has had to his face. And they were paralleling it to, this is gender affirming care and you're really against gender affirming care. And, what do you think about this? Because I understand the rationale of it, but I don't love this whole like outing somebody or telling someone that they're doing gender affirming care, when they haven't opened that door at all.
Yeah. Can I give you a gentle correction?
Yes.
Those comparisons are for what the hell is his name?
Oh my God, not JD.
It's not JD Vance. It's the other guy.
Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Gaetz,
yeah,
right?
it's Matt Gaetz.
I'm sorry. Yes. How racist of me to.
and you know it was.
It was racist. Yeah. Sorry. Matt Gaetz. Same question stands though. What do you think about it?
I'm glad that you said this, and I have opinions.
Great.
I'm not a fan of it. I don't like these like gotcha moments.
I know.
I do agree it is gender affirming care. Do we need like an infographic about how like, because I think at the end of the day, like body shaming is like, I don't think it's a win for us to like dunk on the guy. Like, how about he's awful and he's a predator and he's a he's like a far right extremist, and like, why not all of that instead of like he's had Botox and face surgery? Because then you're, by the transient property, like shaming other people for that. I don't know.
Totally.
Like, it's just not it's not my favorite type of like liberal gotcha moment to be like, you've had plastic surgery, you might as well be a drag queen.
Exactly.
Like, I
I
don't know.
agree.
That's not my thing. I don't
agree.
think it's helping. I don't think it's helping keep drag performers safe. It's the same thing as like, I hate it when liberals are like, oh, this guy hates women so much, he must be gay. Like, he must be like a closeted. And I'm like, you're not helping gay people by saying that like you must be closeted because you're angry and homophobic.
Right.
And you're not, and you're going to make this guy more homophobic by calling him gay.
Totally.
I don't know. So I'm not a fan of it personally.
I agree. And it also diminishes the idea of gender and sexuality to these things that we can see.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that is not helping us either. And it's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to have had any sort of change to your body aesthetics to be anything.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I don't love it.
I'm like, this guy can do whatever he wants with his face. Let's focus on how he's a monster.
He's a full arsehole. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's,
Okay,
no, I'm glad you brought that up.
Sorry for derailing. And sorry for mixing up two white guys.
Literally,
Never gonna live it down.
don't ever let it happen. Okay. Trigger warning on this episode that for reasons.
Are you doing a trigger warning
for
around
reverse
race?
racism? No,
Oh my God.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Okay, next headline. Why so many Gen Zers and millennials have quote unquote money dysmorphia, even if they are financially better off than they realize. So,
well, I don't know who. Listen, the person that wrote this article is a bad boy.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And so they're saying. Let me clarify. I think, again, haven't read it. Sorry. I think we're saying that millennials and Gen Zs feel like they don't have any money when actually they have money, right?
yeah, they think that they're like, we're catastrophizing it.
Right. That feels completely untrue on so many statistical levels.
Absolutely.
We can't afford to buy assets, houses.
I will never buy a house in my lifetime.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Whereas our parents who are writing, I assume our parent sort of generation that have written this article are able to do that.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm just like, I'm so transparent about my like, I'd be happy, like, let's literally open up my bank account and like,
100%.
no, we don't, like, we're not making it up. Also, like, the lies, like the predatory student loans. I'm happy. I love being transparent. I am $70,000 in student loan debt, and I went to a state school, and I like graduated cum laude for my 4-year degree. I went and I got my master's degree, and like everyone's like, you're guaranteed to make X amount of money and this amount of thing if you do these things. And then I did all those things, and look at me, $70,000 in debt, and that's low. because I went to a public school. Like if I went to a private school, I would be like $150,000-$300,000 in debt, and then plus you tack on what is it? I'm so gonna get this wrong, but like living like things are like 7 times the price. Meanwhile, like salary and minimum wage rates, that's hard for me to say with my speech impediment, have remained the same. The price of housing has gone up. It's bullshit. Fuck these guys.
It is bullshit. I mean, I'm also in lots of debt. I have a bit of credit card debt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and I think I'm in 20k of UK student loan debt.
Damn.
Which like
I thought all that shit was free over there.
But it's pretty free. I mean, no, it's not free. When I was, it's slowly got more expensive each year. So I think my sister, who's like 4 years older than me, paid £1,000 a year for 3 years for university, which is insane. Then when I came 4 years later, it was $3,000. But then because they also give you in the UK, say if you don't have like parents to help you out while you're at university and it's in a different city, they give you these like very cheap loan grant things to like live stipends. Exactly. So that's why mine's like 20 because we didn't have any cash. So it's like the 3 years of 3k and then a bunch of like money to live on,
and then interest.
And then interest. Yeah, UK? Absolutely. Okay. There's interest. And
so
to be honest,
do
you guys have interest? No. We do have interest, but what's shitty is that I feel like the UK, and I'm gonna get this all wrong, and my friends that are into politics are going to say shut up, but I feel like the UK is driving slowly towards US mentality because the interest on all these things are going up. Apparently the NHS is like slowly, which if people don't know, we have sort of like universal medical that is free. I mean, everything is free in theory. You often have to wait. It sounds really sexy, but you might have to wait like 2 years to get a surgery that's pretty serious. So there's all the problems with it. But apparently that's the NHS is starting to get privatized and there's all these things going on. So I don't even know that we're any better than what's going on in the US.
Yeah. Damn.
So anyway, we should reach out to the person that wrote this. We are all poor, factually, not in a dysmorphia or dysphoria.
It's saying dysmorphia. And I'm also like, shut the fuck up with this term. Like, shut up.
Stop bringing that into this.
Yeah. Dysmorphia. Well, I don't like. I don't know. Maybe we should read it. I just hate this like using these buzzwords 100%. To be like, I don't know, to gaslight. That is what that is gaslighting. It's the same shit as like millennial, like Gen Z doesn't want to get up and work.
I know.
And I'm like, are you kidding? There's just some of the.
I'm kidding.
I'm
half kidding. I'm fine. We can get into it.
Listen, every group of people have the bad apples, and I think that I have worked with Gen Z people who do not want to fucking work, and then all they do is complain about working. I get it. I've seen that. I'm happy to go on record and say that has to exist in every other generation.
100%.
There's just no way.
Someone reminded me of this the other day. I was talking to an advisor and they were like, everyone's complaining about Gen Z, but I used to complain about millennials in the same way.
Yeah.
And I think,
people don't like the generation below them. It's like when you're a senior, you don't like the juniors because it's like, who are you?
Yeah, totally. Agree.
Go ahead. I cut you off though.
No, I was just going to say that I think, well, I'm in a debate with myself probably now, but what annoys me, I guess, is that what I love about Gen Z is the education layer that everyone has around like what they're worth and value. Because I feel like my generation didn't really have that. And so, for example, there was just the discrepancy in what women and men were paid was super, I think it's still super high. But I think there's more education around what you're worth, what you can ask for, what you should ask for, you know, what employers should give you. But then on the other side of that, it's like people aren't willing, I don't think, to like work super, super hard and work their way up the ranks in the same way. Whereas I feel like when I came out of university, I was like, I don't know anything and I have no experience. So I'm just going to like do an internship for like basically nothing and like work super hard and get it done. Yeah. Whereas I feel I don't hear that a lot as much with Gen Z. They're like, hey, well, what you said, I have 100K worth of debt. And I need a good job and I need to earn, 75K out of uni. Yeah. So I get it, but it's a big shift from what I had. And so you're always going to have that like, hey, I worked really hard for a really long time for no money, you know?
I'm a Gen Z millennial cusp. And I think that comes out a lot with these things like this. I have an incredible work ethic, but I'm also like anti-established, like in the same sentence basically. And so for me, I'm like, I do recognize it that like, I don't like, I see like people that I know like around me who you know, who want to be like, fuck this like corporate or whatever. Let me gather my thoughts so that I don't sound stupid. I think that in some instances, it's okay to hustle and work long hours sometimes and work out long hours sometimes and put in that extra effort to get that promotion or to secure that paycheck or whatever. Do I think you need to be like worked like a dog and like treated like shit all the time? Absolutely not. But I think like this idea that you shouldn't have to hustle or you shouldn't have to like
work hard.
really put in the time and sometimes work over hours and stuff. I'm like, that's not abuse.
Right.
It's, you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
it's sure, like abuse exists in workplaces and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, like if you want to, I don't know. I think that sometimes Gen Z will put words to something and be like, how horrible is it that I had to like work an hour late? And I'm like, girl,
I know.
that happens sometimes.
But you know what? I'm trying to find a balance with these things all the time because obviously I have a company. That's not a secret.
Yeah.
But I hate a lot of the companies I've worked for all of these reasons. And so I'm trying to like create a new type of company. But then also we need people to work hard and do it. Otherwise we're not going to be able to get our products out to people and make stuff. And, you know, so it's a balance, I think. But anyway, this isn't a finance podcast, but equity solves this problem, I think, or at least helps solve this problem, which, oh no, my iPad.
Can I say something to you?
Yeah.
Some of our listeners might not even know what you mean by saying equity. If you wanna explain.
Totally. So for them, which is my company, we give away tiny pieces of the company to our employees as salary. They still get paid a salary, but on top of that, it's like a little sweetener that over time parts of the company drip out to employees. And all companies, well, no, that's not true. Some companies do that and it's really cool. But I love it because as we were talking about, we can't buy houses, we don't have asset wealth. And so this creates, I think, a bit of intergenerational wealth, at least for the small amount of people that work for us.
Yeah.
So that if anything ever happens with the company, we sell it, we get some more money into it, whatever it is, then all the employees will get a big payout. And that feels like at least we're all working towards the same stuff.
Yeah.
That's actually, welcome. This is now finance, trans boy finance.
Well, listen, one episode I will have you sit here and like mansplain finance to me, because as you do it to me, I think everyone listening will also get it, because you just are good at that and I'm not.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks. Question mark.
Of course, thanks. Yeah. It's a compliment. Yeah. I'm not very financially literate.
I'm super financially literate, but it doesn't always translate into, like I said, I have a bunch of credit card debt. I have shit going on. I think we all, you know, are the same in that way. But yeah, happy to talk about it.
Yeah. Do we have more headlines?
We have one more headline.
Okay.
Here we go. Pete Buttigieg. I can never say his name.
Buttigieg.
Mm-hmm.
Buttigieg.
Okay. Pete Buttigieg is... Sorry. Pete Buttigieg's masterclass, Fox News interview, takes off online. So you got to tell me about this because I didn't see it.
Yeah, and first of all, I'm going to say, good,
good
boy. I've said this.
I like him.
Yeah, I've said this before on the podcast. I don't like any politicians. Just like as a general, you know, baseline rule is like they are there to earn my support and not for me to admire them. You know,
makes sense.
Because we have been burned so many times.
So, yeah.
But so this I actually saw. I saw it on TikTok, my number one news source, and you know, it was very interesting. He went on Fox News, which like in and of itself is like, whoa. And he just like showed up with the fucking facts, and he spoke very eloquently, and he knew what he was doing, and he just like dispelled a bunch of incorrect information about crime rates and like all these Trump's campaign promises from the last campaign and how he has not fulfilled them, even though the right thinks that he has. And kind of like showing like the actual data of like what's happened under Biden's administration versus Trump's. And I think that's doing something like that on Fox News is pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Because of the people, you know, I mean, if you're watching Fox News, who knows how you receive your information anyway. But I think it was a pretty cool thing to do. Pretty good boy thing to do.
Did he get annihilated by whoever was interviewing him? Were they being very aggressive?
No, not at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get? I was going to say in this country, but actually it could just be a lot of countries. You know, I was like half watching the debate, or no, I wasn't half watching. I watched 45 minutes of it and then was like, I can't do this anymore. But the amount of like why we're not fact checking live, like why someone says
I saw
we
someone
should
do that.
right, we should do a thing where someone says something and if it's a lie, statistically untrue, we should have a buzzer that says no, dude, lie. But we don't, and so then people are listening to it not knowing what's true and what's not, and just taking it, and then it becomes this like weird, you know, charm fest where it's just who is loudest and, you know.
Well, in this case
most
it was
engaging.
like who can put a string of fucking sentences together.
100%.
Oh my god, what was Trump talking about the other day?
There's so many ridiculous things that no one knows what you're talking
about. But something that I do know for a fact he did was he was like, listen, just vote now and in 4 years you'll never have to vote again, which is basically being like, I'm going to create a dictatorship.
But he said we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Why is no one looking around saying, hey, you know, that's illegal? Because
the people who like him want that. There was like a interviewer who was like, would you rather like 4 years of I think this was before Biden dropped out, and it was like, would you rather 4 years of Biden or a dictatorship under a democracy under Biden or a dictatorship under Trump? And every single one of them was like a dictatorship under Trump.
Oh my god, it leads me to believe that they don't know what that would mean.
No, of course they don't. I guess it's going to be a little political.
Yeah, but you know,
during this election,
it is going to be a little bit. We've said nothing about. I mean, I saw a video of Kamala getting a call from the Obamas. Did you see that?
Yeah, fake fucking phone call. That phone call didn't happen. Also, everyone,
well, it did, but like it was probably not organically. Yeah.
Also, there's this rumor going around that Obama cheated on Michelle with Jennifer Aniston.
Shut your mouth. Shut your.
And so
I don't want to hear that,
because in the video, Kamala answers and goes, "Oh, you're both there together." Everyone's like, "See, it's weird that like they're definitely separated, because why would she be surprised that they're there together?" And I'm like, Jen Aniston.
Do you believe that?
I don't probably no.
I mean, he in my mind he's dedicated to Michelle.
I would hope so.
I think so.
I would support her lemonade moment if she's getting cheated on. Holy crap.
No way. Also, Jen wouldn't do that. She doesn't feel like a homewrecker like that.
The combination of you calling her Jen and
We're
like
friends.
saying she wouldn't.
We're friends. We're not. No.
I guess she's been home wrecked.
She's been home wrecked. That's what I mean. She's not a homewrecker.
I don't know, man.
Although, yeah.
Anybody could be a homewrecker.
Have you home wrecked?
Like, have I taken someone's girl or whatever?
Yeah.
Never in, like, only for straight couples.
So it doesn't count.
Just like in my early 20s, I was hooking up with a lot of girls in bar bathrooms while their boyfriends were at the bar.
Yeah. Okay.
But they never left the boyfriend for me.
Right.
Ever. So it's not like I never home wrecked, but I was the cheaty. Like, I helped people cheat.
Is this a universal trans boy experience? Or lesbian experience? I've had this a bunch.
Yeah. It was definitely, it was like cis lesbian era for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was also like, yeah. It was very like drinking and coke heavy times for me as well. And it, like, also like the boyfriends were like really scary, muscular, like men. And I'm like, I could have gotten my shit rocked.
No, because they wouldn't even count it as cheating. This is in my era at least.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can kiss a girl. That's hot,
true.
You know?
Yeah.
When they should be very worried.
They should be
about that.
worried
They should be very
what I was
worried.
doing in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Give me an 8-ball. Girl.
And I'm ready.
Oh man. Okay.
Let's talk about content. What media are you consuming right now?
We just finished the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders docuseries on Netflix.
I haven't even heard of this.
It is really good and
Okay.
really well done, and I have so many feelings about it. We watched it like over the course of like 2 to 3 days. It's a docuseries. So like the Dallas how familiar are you here?
I mean, I'm very not. Mansplain it.
Dallas Cowboys, like one of the biggest organizations in America. It is Dallas, Texas. It's their cowboy team. It's
Okay.
their cowboy team. It's their football team.
I was like not following.
It's their football team. They're called the Cowboys, and they have these dancers, the cheerleaders, called the Dallas. They're America's sweethearts.
Great.
And not every NFL team like has a giant cheerleading team, but they do. And it's the president of the cheerleading team is the daughter of Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and so it's just huge money maker. Like people love those girls as much as they do the NFL players.
Got it.
And so they go through this rigorous audition where you have to like, they take like 500 girls from like an online submission, take them down, make them all solo audition, and then you go through training camp.
Oh my God.
And it's this intense thing. And it reminded me a lot of like sorority life, of like when I was in a sorority, of like, you have to have your hair right, this right. Like a 50-year-old woman will say to your face that your eyebrows look fucked, and like you'll and like give you an eating disorder. It's like so crazy.
Fuck. That's not
But I kept fighting with myself the whole time watching it, because I'm like, this is awful. This is all these girls want though. So in my head, I'm like, this is borderline abuse, but they're the ones experiencing it, and they're like, this is this is what it takes. This is why this is so coveted and why I've worked so hard for it. But here's the thing. So they go through all this. It's during the football season. The head captain, who's like a 4th-year veteran, a fucking nurse during the day. So she's like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
No
4
way.
p.m. She's a private nurse for a girl with disabilities. And then she clocks in and is like the most coveted a world-class athlete. By the way, this is not easy stuff that they're doing.
I love that.
They're jumping into splits. And like another girl's an orthodontist, someone is a financial advisor, like an accountant.
That's cool.
And so you have these, and so there's all this talk about how they're underpaid. I think these girls make like $75K, but they have like jobs on top of it. But it's wild. There's like legacy anyway. So they always have like a reality show about the auditions, but this is the first time that it's like a documentary team that like interviews the girls they like go back to Jersey to like see what their home life is like. It's really intriguing.
Very
media.
cool.
And it made me respect that. Not that I didn't respect them, I didn't know anything about them, but it made me be like, oh my God,
This is like real shit.
this, like, they're such athletes, they're so strong, but it's toxic. And of course I can't talk about this without saying how white it is.
Right.
Like you're watching the auditions, and like there's, to begin with, it's like 9 to 1 the
Right.
ratio here, and then like they cut 4 black and brown girls, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, fuck. It's fucked. I was going to say, this reminds me of Bring It On. Do you ever watch Bring
Yeah.
It On?
Oh my God. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Yes. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Like how it's like
Right.
rivalry of like
Yeah.
of like Compton. No, I mean it's not like that, but it's just like there's 36 girls on the team and maybe 4 of them are women of color,
Yeah, fuck. It's fucked.
which is wild.
This reminds me too. I love this. I love when people have like day jobs and then passions that are like real, you know,
Yeah.
incredible passions.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that. Did you watch, this isn't a movie I've watched recently, but is it called The Worst Girl in the World? Producer
Oh,
Jack?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
No, but I know people love it, and I know
You
the
should
cover
watch it.
art of
You
it.
should watch it.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. But there's an amazing actor in there, and I don't know his name, so I'm gonna butcher it, so I won't do it. But he's a doctor or surgeon in the day, and then just did this like as a side thing,
Yeah.
and it was unreal. Anyway, that just
Yeah.
reminded me of that.
Well, Britt and I kind of like disagreed on it, because she's sitting there and she's like, if you're a nurse, like, what are you doing? Like, why do you want to be a cheerleader and subject yourself to this abuse and like feeling bad about yourself and this rigorous routine? And I'm like, Britt, like, you have a day job and then you're a brilliant comedian. Like, it's the
Right.
same thing. You're a comic. Like, why? It's a passion. It's an honor. It's a privilege to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And that's what they want. They grew up fans of the organization and maybe their mom, whatever. But I'm like, I could say the same to you. Like, you work hard all day. Like, why bother going on stage and telling jokes? I'm like, because it's what you're passionate about.
Right, 100%.
So, yeah.
And we'd be, you know, we must mention too, I feel like everyone in this city specifically has more than one gig just because
Oh, yeah.
it's needed to live.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so great. So I'll watch that. Netflix?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I saw Twisters.
What is that?
Twister from 1996, the year I was born,
Yeah.
is just like a classic, like tornado chasing
Nice.
movie. And so they did like I don't know if they're considering it a remake or just like a revival, but it's Twisters, and it's with Glenn Powell, who
Oh.
I'm really charmed by.
Love that.
He's a white cis het dude that just
You
like
love
him.
you love a sweet white straight cis het dude.
He just like I've liked everything that he's been in. Wait, hold on. What'd you say that I like a sweet? Oh, like when they're sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like it's this charm
Yeah, like
thing.
the Aiden thing,
Yeah, I'm
kind
just
of
like,
vibe.
you remind me of like, again, what has taught me to be a good boy, because like you're well mannered and you're nice, whatever. I'm charmed by Glenn Powell. I've liked everything that I've seen him in, and it's Daisy Edgar Jones,
Nice.
British,
Yeah.
and so
Well, British?
she was in, maybe not.
Yeah, you're right, British,
Yeah?
but I got confused because I thought she was Irish, but just good.
Oh, Paul
Yeah,
is Irish.
British, yeah.
So Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, and a couple other fantastic people in it, and it was really good. I was like, movies are back. Like, I saw it in the theaters, and it's just like one of those things where I'm like, oh, there's no political comment. Like, there's no, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't have to worry about anything. But like watching these guys chase tornadoes, there wasn't even a sex scene. There was one kiss in the entire movie. I don't know. I'm just like, I was able to shut off my brain and just be entertained.
That's
for
awesome.
2 or so hours, and it was really fun.
I love that. I need to go to the movies. I haven't been
Yeah,
so long.
it's like my 3rd weekend in a row going.
Damn.
I gotta be an AMC Stubs member.
I didn't watch that much this week because my birthday week and I was out and about, you know, being birthday boy. But I did see that Todd Phillips released on Instagram another snippet of the Joker 2 trailer.
Oh,
And I'm incredibly excited. I
Yeah.
couldn't be more excited. If I can be honest, when I first heard that Lady Gaga was going to be in it, I like her, by the way. I think like she's, I think she's dope, and I think she stands for good stuff. And I read a thing the other day about her making her lawyers fire Diddy because they were representing him, and it's her lawyers, and she was basically like, you fire him or I'm out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
that is cool.
So I really like her. But I don't think that she's the best actress personally.
Oh, come on.
You know what I mean? I struggled with
Stars Born.
Star is Born. I struggled hard.
Okay.
I know everyone loved it and it's a controversial view,
Yeah.
but I really struggled,
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, so when I heard that she was in it, I was like, oh, I don't know, because like Joaquin's so good and like,
Yeah.
but the trailer looks unreal.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it. And so let's see. Maybe she'll surprise me and she'll be great.
Yeah.
Do you think she's good?
Like an actress?
Yeah.
I have no leg to stand on with giving acting notes to anybody. What I do think is really funny is that like this is now her 2nd time. I'm sure she's acted more, but like it was A Star Is Born and now it's this.
She did Gucci.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that.
I
no
didn't
way.
watch it either. But,
I'm like, nope.
but I heard she was in it.
And I mean, she was like in the woods in American Horror Story Roanoke,
Oh,
but she was just
totally,
like
yeah.
humping things in the woods in like 2 times speed. But she keeps doing this thing in interviews where she just like explains acting, and everyone keeps
really?
thinking it's people on Twitter are like, it's so funny that when she does these. So for this one, she's like, well, obviously like I'm Lady Gaga, right? So like I am a singer, I'm a performer, but now I'm playing a character who sings, but it's not Lady Gaga. So I had to really figure out how to sing as this character, and everyone's like,
Whoa.
yeah, that's
Acting.
like that is quite literally what that
Yeah.
is. And she did the same thing for press tours for A Star Is Born, where she's like, I forget what she was saying for that one, but it was kind of just
That's
like,
hilarious.
so like I had to just become this other person.
And you're like,
It's
yep.
like,
Yep.
that's the definition
it.
of acting. Yeah,
That's it.
which is really funny.
That is so funny.
We're gonna play footsie.
Oh, sorry. I was just
We're crossing towards each other.
rotating my ankle. I feel like I have this like habitual thing. I watch myself. That sounds Leo-like, but I got interviewed. I was doing a talk to some students, and the whole thing is videoed, and all I can see is my ankle just rotating and rotating and rotating as I speak. I was like, "What is that? I got to stop it."
I think that
Some
okay.
sort of-
I think
don't
it's
know.
okay that you do that.
Is it? It's
I
distracting.
think there's worse things.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
gonna be hypercritical of yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So that's it. So yeah, I haven't watched that much, but I will have a look at the documentary next week. But you just said, what is it called? That you said Lady Gaga was in?
A Star Is Born?
No.
Oh, American Horror Story.
Do you watch that?
I did.
Did you watch it with Kim in?
No. I did not. I stopped watching after Apocalypse, I want to say.
Okay.
It was just getting so bad.
Oh, really?
I love everybody involved in those shows. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to think of everybody. So if someone's canceled in it, assume that I don't support them. But Like, I love it. The first, I think
Dude,
American.
you can't assume that because they've been cancelled, they're a bad person. Can we?
Okay, what I mean. Okay, sorry.
I mean, we will be cancelled by
I
next
should
week.
correct myself. If they are a bad person,
Great.
assume that I don't support them.
Great.
I am using those interchangeably, and so perhaps I should not. If they are rightfully canceled.
Totally.
But like,
We should talk about cancellation.
yeah, we should. American Horror Story Asylum is some of the best, and Murder House up until like the ending, some of the best television I've ever seen.
I've never watched it.
It's fantastic.
I don't watch it because I don't love horror.
Oh, I love
You
horror.
know, it makes me like it. I'm scared.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
It's scary.
Yeah, and then I can't sleep, and it's just like it infiltrates my life too much. You know?
Okay, I love horror. Asylum is really. Why am I blanking on the other? The first three were Murder House, Asylum, and Coven. I want to say, which Stevie Nicks comes in on. But no, Roanoke was awful, which is the one that Lady Gaga's in. Hotel, I could not watch, even though that's everyone's favorite. Anyway, but I stopped watching after a little while because it got bad.
Okay. I was wondering if I haven't really watched Kim in it, but I wondered. I heard that there was lots of critics saying that she was really good, and I was surprised.
I'm like, are we saying good for Kim?
I think
you
we
know
are.
what I mean.
I think we are.
Like, is
It's
it
like I was
good
so surprised. She was good.
Yeah.
Vibes. Yeah. 100%.
Sure.
But no gay stuff. I don't know that I've watched any gay things.
There's not a lot of. I'm saying, of course, there's a lot of gay stuff happening. There's not a lot of gay stuff happening right now that I'm either interested in or have not watched already.
Have you finished Bridgerton?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like way finished.
Oh, yeah. Like when I was talking to you about it in like episode 1, I had
Okay,
finished.
right.
And they just, okay, so this is fun. They just announced that each season focuses on a different character and like gives them the full, like the majority of the episodes. And the 4th season will be Benedict's, which is the bisexual guy.
Oh,
So the 4th season will focus on the bisexual guy.
love that.
And he's, bopping around having threesomes and stuff.
Bisexual pride.
Bisexual pride. People are going to be like, bisexual people don't have threesomes.
I mean, they do. You
they
can
do.
be. I mean, you can have a threesome and not be bisexual.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ding. But that's exciting. I was hoping it was going to be Claudia's. Not me using the actress's name. I thought it was going to be I forget the character's name, but the one that's like asexual, that everyone wants to be a lesbian, but the showrunners are like, hey, just because she's not interested in men doesn't mean she has to be interested in women. She could just be interested in like herself.
Great.
And her pursuits. And
Very
so
good.
I think that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I think it's tea time.
Oh my God, tea time. I forgot. Yeah.
Have you thought about it?
Well, I think
How
that's
are
all
you?
I think about. Well, so I am. I just did my 17th shot, I think is what it is.
17. And you're doing them weekly?
Yeah.
17 weeks?
I know. Isn't that crazy? April
Jesus,
5th,
okay.
my ex-boyfriend's birthday was the last one. Was the first one. And I went to a Mets game with my parents, like brought me and my 2 siblings and our partners to the Mets game, and it was like bring your kids to the Mets game day, which was really cute. And like my mom was like, are you sick? And I was like, and she was like, no, that's just your voice. So she like recognized that my voice got deeper, which was really cool. And like my brother, who's so hairy, was like comparing his body hair with me, and like we were
So
just
good.
like do it, because I haven't seen them in person in probably like 3 weeks to a month. And so that was really fun. I got to show off my new muscles to them, and they were impressed. But yeah, I'm 17 weeks, nothing hugely different. My voice is definitely getting deeper. I have since shaved my mustache. I was holding on to it. I got one singular TikTok comment that was like from a cis dude that was like, hey, lil bro, gotta shave that mustache. And I was like, okay. Literally all it takes is one person. I'm so bad. I'm not a role model in that way. But I shaved it, and
How do you feel?
it feels great. I mean, listen, it's going to come back. What's really keeps coming back is under my chin. It's so like I shave it every day.
That
And
is
like
wild.
3 hours later, it's back. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I feel stronger. I'm feeling myself put on muscle. What else? Yeah, a little bit of acne, but I don't think it's like acne from the tea. I think I have to do a better job like exfoliating when I shave my face.
Okay.
To avoid that. And horny.
Just horny every week.
Horny. Yeah. I'm trying
Do you
to
feel
think
good
of
about that though?
I do feel good. Yeah. I think
it's not like distracting. It's not like ruining your life or anything like that. Are you like, dissociating about sex while you're
no, absolutely not. But it is the same as I said last time, where it's like if I'm home alone, I'm like, all right, let's jack off. I'm home alone. I've finished my work, and
what else is
I'm
it
like,
to do?
all right, let's jerk off. But no, other than that, yeah.
Fair.
What about you?
So as I keep saying over and over again, it's my birthday. But I went to this is about tea time. Don't worry, I'm getting to it. But we went to like an outdoor bar space and had a few of my friends around, and I wore like a really tight tank and a pair of shorts, and I felt like for the first time, and I like caught myself in the mirror, like in the window mirror, and I was like, for the first time, I feel like my muscles are coming in, my chest feels really good, and I felt like really good and affirmed,
Yeah.
which was really amazing. But I think that I love what you said about your workout, getting your chest. It's really, by the way, I found it really hard to build my chest muscle after top surgery. It was like almost like concaved in.
Yeah.
But
my right side still is. It's really only my left, but they say I'll get there.
Yeah, you'll definitely get there. I mean, and what was my point? Oh yeah, so and I didn't realize that they were coming in, like my chest was coming in so much, but then having a really tight shirt on and seeing that, and then I was like, this is really cool. But you know what I didn't realize? And maybe this is something to do with the surgery, but I thought that I used to work on my chest when I had breasts. And so I thought I was building muscle under there, but then they did the top surgery and then everything feels like it's just been completely removed. But it shouldn't be anything to do with the muscle, right? The muscle should be underneath the tissue.
They leave a little bit of, please don't make me get into, I don't know what please don't
but
ask
I was
me to
shocked
go
by
through
it because
the
I
layers
was like,
of dermis.
you know what I mean? Because
but yes, I know what you mean.
you know? And I was like, it's completely concaved. It looks like I've never worked on my chest in my life. Maybe someone smart, a doctor or someone can answer this for us.
I don't know. I'm sure some of that muscle went with the tissue, but also could have just been from like sitting on your ass for 2 weeks when you were recovering, and
totally.
that could have just gone away a little bit, or it just looks different. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I had a good, and I'm talking to my doctor about upping my tea, because I'm only on 4. I don't know if I've ever said this to anyone because I didn't know it, but I'm only on 4 milligrams.
Okay.
Which is like with the gel.
Okay.
And that's because, and we can get into this maybe next episode, but that's because I'm trying to freeze my eggs.
Yeah.
And I have to do that first. So I'm doing that in like September, October, and then I'll start like upping my testosterone a little bit. So we should maybe talk about fertility at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I also did that. Perfect cervix, by the way. Not to brag. I was like, surely I have to have something wrong. And he was like, it looks great.
How did you feel? Did they do that thing where they like clamp open your body? And
I wasn't clamped like I am at the gyno sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
But he just lubed up an internal ultrasound wand.
Got it.
He just lubed that up, and
I am very dysphoric. But I have a lot of bottom dysphoria.
Yeah.
And so it's just it's my worst moment going to the gyno and doing all these things. Do you have that or no?
No, surprisingly not, because I'm still like down for penetration.
Nice.
But I mean, I don't know if this is gross to hear, but this is just a reality of like being trans and going to the doctor. I was on my period and I'm sitting doing the consult with him.
Right.
And he was like, well, if you want right now, like part of this consultation, we can do an ultrasound. We'll just check to see if there's anything going on with your cervix. And then we'll also do the blood to get your fertility count and see where you are.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, but, and he was so funny. He was so affirming. He like knew, he was like, not just calling it testosterone, but he was like, oh, cause you're on T and you won't want to go back off T, like trying to explain it. Like he knew what he was talking about. And so I'm sitting there and I was like, I'm on my period right now. So I don't think we should do the ultrasound. And he was like, are you kidding me? Like I do ultrasounds on people menstruating all the time. And I was like, oh, but I have a tampon in. And he was like, we have tampons. Like, he was kind of just like, what are you like?
what are
why
you
are you so
talking
worried?
about?
And I'm like, okay, but you're gonna like enter me when I'm
On my
and he
period.
did, and I didn't. That was the only thing that was dysphoric, because then I like got up from the exam and there's like a little, because like I bleed,
Got
you
it.
know,
Got
and
it.
so and that was the only thing that was like dysphoric. But I thought I had probably so many things wrong with my cervix. I was like, there's probably a cyst or two,
Right.
or like something. And he was like, they look great. And then my egg count is normal.
Oh,
So,
that's good. So cool.
well, average, I should
And
say.
you're still bleeding heavily even on the T?
Yeah. Maybe not as bad, and it's like a different kind of blood. I don't know how to describe it,
Interesting.
but yeah.
God, because I was hoping that would go away.
My doctor said it was like it just depends. Sometimes it just like goes away for people. Sometimes it gets worse before it goes away. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that there's like an exact science to it.
Well, tea time.
Tea time.
Sounds like it's going well.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like it's going well.
It's going very well. Yeah.
I feel great. I feel energetic and horny too. But maybe not as much as you.
I guess I wish I was feeling a little bit more energy that everyone keeps talking about that you feel on tea. I'm not,
not feeling it?
bouncing out of bed in the morning, and I'm not like running down the street. I don't know. Like, that's what everyone says. I have to be patient, but like I don't feel any uptick in energy levels.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
at all.
That's wild. It's
Yeah.
funny because you feel so horny. In my mind, those two things sort of come together. You know? I rarely feel really lazy and really horny at the same time. I often am feeling really energetic and really horny.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that it's lazy. It's just like it's this like baseline. Like, I'm a pretty active
I
like
wasn't calling you lazy. I got to say that.
No,
for-
that's okay. But it's like
I mean,
more like
relaxed,
mental
you know.
horniness, and it's a different kind of horniness. Like, now I want to watch porn, and I never
Okay.
wanted to watch porn before.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I'm quite literally a 13-year-old boy.
You have to tell me this because I know you'll know the answer to this. Someone told me yesterday that they
I
watch.
don't know the answer to this.
I feel like you're going to know. They watch porn on Twitter or X.
Oh, okay.
Is that it? And I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with posting some pretty explicit stuff on Twitter for sure.
But
That's
people are
not where I
like
consume
posting
it,
there.
but-
Like, I mean,
yeah.
that's
Well,
wild.
because you like post a teaser and then you have like your OnlyFans in the bio, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like, you like this, come see the full video
Got it.
there, because it's allowed on there.
Right.
Without it fucking with like your community guidelines or whatever. But
Mm.
I'm scrolling through my feed and I see lip.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Especially when I'm like no shade. I'm like, go get, but I'm like, I wish there was a way to, cause like I'm personally not interested, just because I'm like, I'll be on the subway
Totally. Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa. And I'm like,
Right.
fuck. Once again, not saying you shouldn't be allowed to post that, but I should
Like a
probably
warning.
find a way to filter. Yeah. And sometimes it will be like explicit content. Do you want to see this? And you have to click yes, but it's not always the case.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked I didn't realize because obviously Instagram, you show a bit of nip and it
yeah.
has a meltdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on a porn site, and I'm like, the one where the girl enjoys it. Like, that's what I'm like looking for.
Search results 0.
Yeah, I'm like female orgasm. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would say my tea updates are.
Great.
Do you hear my voices deeper?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do. And you just look stacked. I don't know. I mean, some people can see Motti if you're watching on YouTube, but you just look stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you my biceps later.
Can't wait. Let's do it. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Good boy, Kylo.
Good boy, Motti. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
See ya.